One of the best ways to quieten anger is by remembering who you really are. Are you ready for some good news? We're never transformed by conquering our fleshly desires out of our own willpower. We are transformed when someone reminds us and blesses us with a picture of who we're actually called to be. That's part of the story of one of the hidden jewels in the Old Testament, a woman named Abigail. Maybe you know her story, but it's a beautiful, sort of obscure story where she intercedes on behalf of her foolish husband, Nabal. Nabal, whose name is related to the word for folly, is unaware that David and all of his men have been essentially helping protect the estate. And one day David asks for some provisions for him and for his men, and Nabal insolently, just rudely refuses to offer any help. David is hopping mad. He is ready to slaughter the entire estate. They strapped on their swords, and Abigail hears about it. She goes to intercede and meets up with David, brings provisions for him, and calms the wrath of Israel's future king. But one of the things that happens in that is that she brings a prophetic blessing to him. In 1 Samuel 25, verse 28, she says, "Please forgive the trespass of your servant," speaking of her husband. "For the Lord will certainly make my Lord," speaking of David, "a sure house, because my Lord is fighting the battles of the Lord, and evil shall not be found in you as long as you live." She brought him bread and grain and wine, and then she spoke a blessing, and she said, "You're the future king of Israel, and the Lord is with you." And it's like David remembered who he really is. And when she said that, his anger calmed, and he restrained himself and his men and spared Nabal. The power of a blessing is often simply to remind you of who you are in Christ and what your real destiny is. His destiny was not to go and slaughter Nabal because of his rudeness. His destiny was to rule all of Israel. And you have a big destiny also. And God is using you for great purposes. And therefore, you can let your anger and the temporary fleshly desires fall to the side. That's the good news that Abigail brought to David, and that's the gospel. Well, that's today's good news. You can get more videos like it by clicking right here. Or better yet, subscribe to this channel and be sure and start out every day with good news.